Okay, I'm going to show you how to do the heels section on a pair of yoga socks. And as you can see here, I've done the cast on and I've done a knit 3 purl 2 all the way around, and I'm using the 40 peg 3/8 inch gauge Cindy Wood Loom sock loom, and I've done 40 rows. And the great thing about this is once you get the heel done, you do 40 rows and you cast off. So these are actually a pretty simple pattern on how to do this. So we're going to cast off. We're going to E-wrap 2. We're going to cast off half of the pegs. So for it being 40, we're going to do 20. E-wrap 2. Bring that over. Toss the bottom loop over. Bring it over. E-wrap 2. Put over. Toss the bottom loop over. Move over. E-wrap 2. And toss the bottom one over. And we're going to take off a total of 20. Okay, and here's 20. Now what we're going to do is continue the pattern we've been doing all the way around to here. And the way to know where you're at, and we're going to be doing a knit for 2 because it's smooth here, and then you have it lifted here, which is your purl. Because we're doing knit 3 purl 2, you'll notice there's 2 columns there. That tells you when to purl. So at this point we're going to knit 2 because we stopped our last cast off there. Okay, so we're going to continue on. And so we've knitted 2, and now we're going to purl 2. Then we'll knit 3 because we're going to continue that pattern. Knit 3, purl 2, knit 3, purl 2, knit 3, purl 2. And then at this point we're going to cast back on. So wrap, wrap, toss the bottom loop over, wrap, wrap, top the bottom loop over. So just go ahead and cast back on. Okay, we've cast all of those back on, and we're going to see that we're in our knitting section, so we need to go ahead and continue by knitting 3 and purling 2. So we're going to knit 3, then purl 2, all the way to the other side. Now we're going to just continue with our knit 3, purl 2 for 40 rows. So this is the first row, and you're just going to take your counter and do 40 rows and then cast off doing the knit 3, purl 2. And so you're going to do 40 rows of this, cast off, and you'll make 2 of these, and this is how you make a basic yoga sock. And you can do this if you want the finer gauge. You can go in and do this with the 56 peg, 1/4 inch gauge, and it works about the same way, except you'll need to do a few more rows in here because the stitches will be closer together, and so you'll probably need to do 50 or 60 rows on each side rather than just the 40. That's the only thing going to make a difference. You cast off half, go the other half, cast back on, go the other half, and then start again. So it's the same concept that you'll do, and that's how it's done. So you can do it on the 40 and you can do it on the 56. Just keep in mind when you're doing it on the 56, your odd peg out will be a purl, which is going to be over here. But yeah, that's how you make yoga socks, and that's how you do the heel, the most complicated part. Now the reason why, just a note, the reason why I chose to do this particular rib stitch, as you can see, it closes up, which means when you go to put it on your foot, it will hug your foot better than if I had just knitted it. So that's kind of the reason why I chose to go in and do this particular stitching and everything. And because the cast on stretchy, I kind of wanted the cast off and the cast on to be stretchy here so that it's fairly even, and so that's the reason for that. But yeah, the rib stitch makes it to where it hugs the foot nicely. And again, you can do this on the 56 peg loom, and you can do this on this one. And so it's just a knit 3, purl 2, 40 rows on either side. Do the heel area where you cast off half the pegs, and then finish the row, and then cast back on, and then start going at it again for the same number of rows you did up here. And so that's it. That's how you make yoga socks.